Hello everyone, welcome to the Spiritual Citizen. My today's guest is Mr. Nishant Sharmaa. Nishant is a multifaceted person. He is an IT engineer by learning, but at a very young age he realized that his calling is to be a spiritual healer. He listened to his heart and pursued his calling. Nishant is a psychic reader, an aura reader, a chakra reader, a meditation expert, an intuitive, and he is also an author. He conducts workshops on many aspects of his spirituality. These days, he is taking workshops on helping people remove the root cause of financial struggle and tune in to the energy of their abundant self. He is a recipient of many prestigious awards in the field of spirituality. He is a fun-loving person who enjoys traveling and spending time with his friends. So let's get tuned up to our real self, Mr. Nishant Sharmaa. Hello Nishant and welcome to the Spiritual Citizen.
Thank you, Rachana. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nishant, as we all know that our calling is actually what we are made for. And really lucky are those who can pursue their calling and listen to their heart. So please tell us, what was the experience like when for the first time you realized that spirituality is your calling? What was that moment like? It must be power packed.
I'm sure it was, because I think that was the very first time that I actually felt connected to spirituality was when I was a little kid. My parents used to say that I was often found doing meditations and chantings and reading spiritual books rather than academic books. So I think that was my starting point where I got super inclined towards spirituality, religion, and always get fascinated with the stories when I read in Ramayana or Mahabharata that there were some people, some blessed souls who could actually connect to the divine and get answers. Or probably in Mahabharata there was Sanjay who could actually foresee things which were happening. So that was my first aha moment that what if someday I can actually get these powers, and I really became inclined very since the beginning of my, as long as I can remember, that I really started reading about it, get how it does it work, and is there some spiritual abilities, is it like some technical stuff, what is it about? So that was my first starting point in spirituality. And later on, when I started actually practicing it, when I was in 11th standard or so, I started actually doing the work, meditation on a very conscious manner, and learned Reiki. That was my, you can say, the beginning of spiritual journey and the energy work and everything. So that's when I found that it's something that I really enjoy, and it's something that is giving me a lot of stuff that I really wanted. For example, energy sensing abilities, just by looking at the person, seeing their auras and energy, and it was amazing. So I thought that was my starting point. Then I thought I should dedicate my life, and probably this is what I'm meant for. That was my moment for me. Yeah.
Amazing. So, Nishant, please also tell us that, when did you realize that you have a gift of clairvoyant? And, did it help you in your personal growth?
Yeah. So it's when I was a child, I was doing a lot of stuff unknowingly. For example, every night I used to get a physical sensation that I'm getting up from my body, and having an out of body experience. Now I know it. It's called out of body experience. But back then I didn't know anything about it. It was more like a experience that I had, and every night I used to see different masters, energies, higher beings. You call them angels, archangels, ascended masters. I have to have communication with them. So I was doing a lot of work unconsciously. But in 2006, that was my first starting point when I had my first spiritual awakening experience while doing meditation. And while I was in trance, I had a piercing pain on my third eye. This is the third eye point, the third eye chakra. And people, where I can see energies around them. It's just like some people are more greens and reds, and with all my eyes closed, my eyes are not open. But that was my first starting point where I, finally got the abilities which I've been really craving for since childhood, that I wanted to see the unseen world of energies. So that was my starting point of, you can say, becoming a clairvoyant, where I believe energy is everything. And now science also proves proves the same thing. So I think that was my starting point, 2006, where I got the gift of clairvoyance. Yeah.
So, do you think this is a God gift, and or do you think it can also be learned?
It's an interesting story here because when I started it, I thought it's a gift which I have got, and it's just a special ability that I've got today, and God has chosen me and everything. But later, when I started researching on it, I realized it's a skill that anybody can learn, anybody can actually practice. So I dedicated a lot of my academic years, or while I was doing my engineering, studying and researching about the science of aura and how it works. And fast, I think when I was in 2008 or 2009, I actually started teaching people how to become intuitive or a clairvoyant using a step-by-step process that I developed over the course of years with my research and everything. So in 2009, I finally created a system which is helping people till date, to become intuitive, to read energies. It's just not a clairvoyant course. It is basically helping you read person's energy. It could be by clairvoyance, it could be by clair feeling, it could be a lot of ways, because every person is psychic to some extent. We all are. You can also sense energies. I can also sense energies. Some people are more visual, so that's why they are called clairvoyant. Some people are more clair feeling oriented, so they are called clair empathetic abilities. That's just the same stuff, but different way of decoding the energy. So yes, it's a skill which can be learned if you have the right teacher.
Right, right. And do you think it's also hereditary? Or, at times I've heard that a lot of people have it in their family.
That was a twist that I was talking about. Because when I started my work, my parents didn't want me to actually pursue this line of work because
Hmm.
they tried to hide something from me, which is the fact that it runs in our family. But later, in 2011, when my book got published, that's when my uncle, paternal uncle Tauji, came and said, what? Now it's time for you to know what family do you belong to. It's just not, we are not pandits. We are actually channels and mediums. For me, I can literally say it's in my genes because my mother's side are all psychics and my father's side are all channels and mediums. But yes, they do it in a religion form, but I'm doing it more as a spiritual and scientific level of understanding. So that is why I can say yes, it runs in a family as well. But it doesn't really matter if you're not. It doesn't really matter if you're not, belonging to a family which has these gifts. You could be the starting point. You know, you can learn the skill and then pass on this gift to the generation because DNA, it works like an antenna. It is going to transfer your positive and negatives to your children. So if you are the starting point and if you learn these skills, then you can definitely pass on these gifts and teach the next generation about how to utilize these abilities. That's what I believe.
That's a lovely twist to your
That's
story.
a twist. Totally.
Yeah. Nishant, I have seen that a lot of humanitarians all over the world, whether it be Russell Brand or Jeff Bezos or Marianne Williamson, their spiritual graph has always shown an upward trend. I mean, it's a long list, yet they're super successful. And this is what actually you are doing also these days. So, do you think spirituality helps people in achieving their goals in life?
Yes, in fact, all these people, if you talk about Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, or no matter the biggie that you talk about, the world class professionals, self made millionaires, they all have one thing. I think the three patterns which I feel like they're common. One thing is they are always learning something or the other, right? They're always learning. They'll never, because if you're not learning, you're not growing in life. That's the first thing. Second thing which I feel is they believe in the concept of, vibes attract a tribe. So they really value this energy, they really value this vibes that we talk about. And spirituality is at the core because no one, all the biggies that you talk about, they all believe that there's more to life than just earning money. Although they're super successful for a reason, because they believe that there's more to life than just earning money. And most people actually think the other way around that, they're super successful because they're thinking all about materialism. No, it's the opposite. It's a very counterintuitive thing. Most people think that they are super successful because they're thinking about materialism. No, they're thinking about how to take this materialism into a spiritual form. Maybe they become super successful with their products or brands or money so that they can give back to the society in a larger manner. You know, that's what I believe. That's what I feel. And that's what I read actually. That all these people, even Steve Jobs had a guru. You know, most people didn't know about it when he didn't. But the success of his products and everything started with the idea that he conceived in the ashram of a guru, right? So spirituality is at the core of every big product or industry that we see today.
Right, right. I totally understand what you are saying. So, Nishant, what I want to ask you about right now is that, nowadays people use the word aura rather casually.
Aura.
Aura.
Okay.
People
Yeah.
use the word aura rather casually. This person has a good aura and that person does not have a good aura. But I know, through you, I know actually that, the volumes of research have gone behind this particular branch of metaphysics. So please tell us about the energy of our auras and how does it help and affect us. And, and how can we use this knowledge actually to feel little lighter and more happier?
Okay. So the layman used to call the same word as the same energy that the person feels the first time that they meet anyone is the vibe of a person. Now the same term, vibes of a person, which a person usually casually used, now they use the spiritual term, which is called aura. And scientifically, the same energy is called electromagnetic field. Science has proven it. Every person, everything, every object in the universe has an aura because aura is the result of movement of charged particles in your body. That your aura has a vibration. The moment it reaches a specific vibration, it creates a negative song. Negative song is what? Your belief systems, your negative emotions. If, for example, the aura is vibrating at 20 hertz, it can be measured scientifically, as I said, it will trigger all the feelings of why you should be ashamed of yourself. If it's 30 hertz, if I measure your aura, if I say the frequency of your aura is 30 hertz, you'll actually feel all the feelings of guilt in your life, that you should be guilty. You will keep on playing scenarios in your head, which is all about guilt. That's a very, very scientific study. That there's an interesting Dr. David Hawkins, who did the research of the entire aura zone, 0 to 1000 frequency hertz, that what happens at each particular level. So that means if you're not happy with the way your life is going right now, it is quite possible that you're stuck in a low vibration of below 500 hertz, because that is the lower energy. And if you want to change your life, all you have to do is first find out what is blocking you, why you keep on dropping your frequency, and second thing is change the frequency. That's the simplest way I can explain aura, that everything is energy, you are energy, I am energy. The moment you change your thoughts, you start raising your energy. If the thoughts are positive, you raise your energy. If the thoughts are negative, you lower your energy. And that level of energy will create your life. I
You
hope
know,
that answers your question.
yes, of course, very well. These are such important aspects of a human life. I wish more and more people can actually understand this, and then world will be such a beautiful place to live in. So please tell us, Nishant, that is, if you're on a spiritual journey, is aura a stable thing or it keeps changing as you grow in your journey?
So yeah, so that was my starting, um, question to myself as well when I was seeing such rapid changes of energy. Whenever I used to look at a person, I could see some parts of energy like literally moving very rapidly, and there was some part of the aura, which is usually around the head, which kept still. And that's what I found, that there are two parts of the aura. One is called the static and dynamic. Dynamic is what is happening right now in your life. For example, people say aura keeps on changing. That's correct, but that's just a partial story. The partial story is aura keeps on changing because that's the energy of your life that keeps on situations, that keeps on changing with the situations in life. But there's a part of the aura which is called static aura, which is usually around the head of the person. That never changes because that is something that you are born with, and that will continue to be till the time you don't learn your lesson. So that means the dynamic, the left and the right around the body will change with respect to your thoughts right now. You know, so that's the entire 100% of the truth, which is aura keeps on changing. Yes, but there's a part of the aura which never changes till the time you have not resolved the lesson that you're born to do or born to fulfill. The moment you break that pattern, the karmic pattern, the aura would change because you've done the work. That's how it works.
And this comes as a surprise to me also. I could have never imagined something like this. So, Nishant, as we grow in our spiritual journey, we always understand that there's a certain pull towards the light. Yeah. But that's all right. I mean, that can kind of make your aura lighter the way you are saying it. But eventually, we have to go into the world and mingle with a lot of people. And some of them might have a little heavy aura. So, do you think, with a lighter aura, if you go out into the world, I mean, does it affect your energy cycles also? And if so, then how does one make it lighter once again?
Okay. So the first thing that I believe in, you know what? You could be the most positive person in the world, but the world is not so positive. So when you're walking around, your aura radiating super brightly with positive energy, people are going to attract, people are going to come and drain you out of energy because everybody wants that, that dose of positivity. Then I realized slowly over a period of time that there's a way of how to protect yourself because you can't change them, but your energy, your aura is programmable. That means you can program it to either attract good situations or repel the bad situations. So that means if you know how to work with your energy, you can actually use the same energy, to push these energetic vampires away so that, irrespective whether you are surrounded by so many negative people, but if you have programmed your energy, if you are protected, that means they're not going to get the same good feeling from you. Because earlier, why they were getting the same good feeling? Because they were getting a dose of your positivity. But now they're talking to you, interacting to you, but energetically you're not connected because you're protected. It's like armor that you put on, like invisible armor. So aura cleansing should be as important as washing hands on a daily basis that we're doing in the times of COVID. It's an invisible thing, so that has made people more aware of the invisible factors of life and how life is so fragile. So that is also really important. That aura clearing should be a part of your physical hygiene, spiritual hygiene, because aura works like a magnet. So wherever you're walking around, you're collecting not just dust particles in your physical body, not germs, but you're also connecting, let's call it energetic germs, negative energy, negative thoughts. You don't know, people are super negative these days. They're super positive as well. So when you interact with them, your aura will simply exchange energy, some positive, some negative. And then when you come out of that situation and you're just about to sleep before your bedtime, your actually aura is totally filled with negative and positive as well. And if you don't clean the negative, what is going to happen is slowly over a period of time you start becoming negative. And then you realize, I don't know what's happening with me. I'm becoming a different person. This problem was not there earlier, but it's coming in now. All of a sudden, my life is crashing down. Sudden depression, sudden mood swings, all are a result of energetic blockages that we pick up.
I was, as you were approaching towards the interview, actually, this thought just came to my mind because you are so good at aura reading and you're also a man of science, you're an engineer. So, do you think, these days because of pandemic, uh, everybody is interacting virtually. So, does it also help in protecting our aura or the energy gets traveled otherwise also?
Okay, it travels because you know what? Let me just give you a little scientific background to this.
Mhm.
Before the universe came into existence, we were all connected as one particular energy, one whole. If you see small p, matar ka dana, we were all connected as one energy. And then the big bang, big explosion happened. And then we look like separated. There's an illusion of separateness, which the philosophy of Hinduism says it's Maya, it's illusion. But internally, you and me, everyone around the world who is watching this video right now, we're all connected. That means it doesn't really matter whether it's 100 miles distance between you and me, we are still connected. And the moment I think about you or you think about me, the moment you interact with me, our energetic connection becomes even more stronger. That means we start exchanging energies. So it doesn't matter whether you are walking around or not. If you're just interacting with someone on phone and they're feeling low, your high energy will go to them and you will start feeling negative.
I got it.
So
And I got it in a very big way, something which I have not even thought about once again. You are so full of surprises. Nishan, we also have energy vortex chakras, and chakras have been mentioned in, I think, our Vedas. So, how do you think chakras help us in rising the vibration of our life? And because chakras and aura, they both have same color. So, what's the similarity and what's the difference?
okay. So first thing first, key aura is energy. For example, if I take this bottle, the glass bottle, it's the aura, it's the vessel. What is the content of this bottle? That is what the energy of your chakras are,
Mhm.
right? So aura is the reflection of what is happening in your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic bodies. You have 5 layers of it. Similarly, we have 7 major glands in our body. That is why most people talk about 7 chakra system, because it is directly correlating to the 7 endocrine glands that we have. But as we step into the new world, especially the way the world is moving, there's just not one concept of chakras. There are 7 chakra concept, there's 9 chakra concept, 12 chakra concept, and so on. And to live in the new world that we're living in, virtual, digital, we need to go beyond the physical. That is why I work with the 9 chakra model, which gives you access to 2 more chakras called the higher chakras. Root chakra will have its own quality of life. For example, it's all about action. Sacral chakra is all about creativity. Solar plexus is about power, confidence. Heart chakra is relationships. This throat chakra is communication. This is intuition, third eye chakra. Crown chakra is spiritual connection. That is all these 7 chakras. Eighth chakra that I'm talking about is 6 inches below the root chakra, which is Earth Star chakra. This energy, this chakra gives you access to the energies of Earth. Now, Earth represents abundance, prosperity, wealth. And then there's the 9th chakra, which is the Soul Star chakra. Similarly, if your Soul Star chakra is activated, your soul will actually guide you that what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, whom to connect. It's like intuition at work. Getting my point?
Absolutely. You have
Or
no
was it too
idea.
technical?
This is almost like a masterclass for me.
I know.
So,
Sometimes I get to swing in that technical zone too much, but
no,
because I
no,
really want people to
but it's
understand.
very educative, very educative. And Nishant, nowadays you're focusing a lot on your masterclass, which is actually concerning removing financial blocks and making people and helping them to achieve financial abundance. So, please tell us something about that.
Yes. In fact, this masterclass talks about the 3 invisible forces that we all have, and most of the time, these invisible forces are working against us. And because they're working against us, we have all kinds of financial struggle, financial debt, low income, no income, less job opportunities, no promotion at work, a lot of financial debt in life. All these are created because whenever our aura is not vibrating at a higher level, it is stuck in a lower level. It's like every time I feel negative, my aura frequency, which is supposed to be in a higher vibration, it drops immediately. And the moment it drops, suddenly it creates a blockage. Whenever it creates a blockage, it is going to attract situations which are going to mirror this blockage. That means if I'm feeling stuck, that feeling of being stuck will reflect in my health, my relationships, my finances, everything. So, what I've discovered in my journey of 17 years as a healer, that we all have these abundance and money blockages. It could be because of childhood traumas that we've experienced around money while growing up. It could be our own self created belief systems. Or it could be some energies that we have picked up from someone else and we're not even sure that they belong to us or someone else. And third one is called, I talk in detail about it, that how most of the problems that are happening in our lives is actually because of some patterns that run in our ancestral life and lineage. And that is often the root cause of your struggle, my struggle, everyone else's struggle. How would you find the solution? So this masterclass helps people understand that there's more to life, there's more to their energy than just mine, because you have to understand your ancestral lineage as well. So this masterclass actually helps you find those common patterns from the ancestral line, and then there's a particular method that I've developed which helps you change it, clear it totally. But the only way you can clear it, you should know what is the root cause. And this is exactly what I'm helping people understand this masterclass, that you know what, till the time you're working on a symptom, you're not going to get permanent solution. It's going to be just a temporary effect that just you just feel good factor. The moment you find the root causes, that is when you find the exact problem. And I've seen so many successful case studies that people have been working for 15 years, 20 years to resolve a problem. And once we did a session for them, or a reading session, I told them this is the exact problem that runs in your lineage, and they actually can trace it back to the family history. And that was the exact thing. And in 3 months, I've seen people resolve their problem, which was not moving here and there for the past 15 years, 20 years. And they just zapped it. Like, how is it possible? Because all your life you've been working on a symptom. That's exactly what I'm here to educate people, that, find the root cause and then you work on it. Everything else is temporary.
Mhm. So the way you are speaking about it, it really sounds very transformational, and I do understand that financial stress can really weigh down people, and especially during the Corona time, when so many people are out of job, and which is really very, very heartening. Nishant, you and I can understand this at least, that the domain of spiritual technology is our mind. And again, as I say, that you're an engineer and you're so drawn to science all the time. So, do you think there is any merging point between spirituality and technology and religion? And do you think it's even possible that physical and metaphysical meet at some place?
In quotation somewhere, which talks about, Bhut ka gyan is bhavishya ka vigyan. So all the wisdom of our ancient seers, masters, rishis is actually going to be the technology of the future. It's nothing that, people say that science is different, spirituality is different. I say that, spirituality is the mother of science, because our rishis were spiritual and they were spiritual scientists. They knew about the planetary movements. They knew about, everything about the cosmological events even before science could actually figure it out. They have written it. We have proofs about it in the Vedas, in astronomy, and the entire science of surgery, for that matter. Science of surgery or dentistry, our rishis knew it before the science came into existence, right? So spirituality is a starting point from where science comes in. So it's like, it's a very, very subjective view about it, because most people think even materialism and spiritualism is different. But if it was different, then why do we have gods which represent? God is spirituality, right? Why do we have gods representing wealth? That means they are actually representing that there's the same energy. They are gods, they're just spiritual figures, but they represent money. We have Kuberji, we have Lakshmiji, we have Vishnuji. They're all telling people that, you know what, it is the same energy. It is just coexisting together. Like we have two sides of the same coin. It is the same energy. So science and spirituality is no different. It's just a label that we've given it. And if you think that, in earlier time, we used to do a lot of pujas and rituals to do, to someone was sick, for example, the pandit used to take the kapra, the cloth of the person, and used to chant Mrityunjay mantra. And the person used to get better. So that was a Vedic way of healing. Now we have so many different technologies. Like when I say technology, is like a way of healing. So people can do distance healing right now. I can do distance reading right now. Technology has given me that leverage that I can look at your aura right now and tell you what exactly is going on in your life, and also send you the energy to balance them. Similarly, there have been so many technologies around the world. Like, in fact, I'm also using a technology, which can actually help me heal you without me doing the work. So there's a technology which can actually be programmed to send you positive vibration consistently with a computer program. That means I don't have to meditate for you. I don't have to chant mantras for you. You will still receive the same positive energy that you would do if someone else is doing a ritual for you. So we are actually stepping into the new age, wherein all the ancient technologies are actually being recreated in a modern twist. And people are calling it science. It's actually the root is in the spirituality.
Mm. Amazing. I mean, like, this is one of the most rocking piece of information. And this is so nice, Nishant, that you're even conducting long distance sessions, and which is really really great. So tell me one thing. I have actually taken a couple of readings from you, and I must confess that it was so helpful that I couldn't even believe it. And the whole thing I carried with me not only for a few days or few months, even till now. It is almost like something which was very very permanent. And so in your role as a psychic medium, what did you learn about the other side?
Okay, so being a psychic medium allows me to communicate with the higher beings and also people who have moved on. But when we talk about other side, I would say that other side is actually more aware to the human realm than we are to them. Because some people say that, marne ke baad kuch nahi rakha, there's no life after that. But I've seen so many case studies, and I've gone through, a lot of sessions that I've conducted with people who there's no chance of physical communication, and some predictions which like totally bang on. If people think that other side doesn't exist, then how am I able to get that information about you? Because I'm meeting you for the first time. I do not have any access to about your life. And the fact is, when I'm connecting to your guides, your angels, your spiritual team, let's put it like this, then I get every piece of information about your life. That means they are taking care of you every moment in time. You're never alone. You're always surrounded. The only difference is they're on different vibration. That is why you cannot see it. Similarly, we don't know that we are much more than our physical body. We're energetic beings, right? And the moment you know it, that becomes, it's like a opening up for you. You become open. You start becoming receptive to the otherworldly energies. That means your sensitivity becomes a little more finer. You allow these higher beings to work through you and make their presence felt. I've seen a lot of people who say, angels do not exist. I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. Let's do an experiment. If you think angels do exist, ask them for a sign. If you think that, you want a particular thing, ask them for a sign. The simplest way is, if you're walking, if you're driving, or maybe whatever, if you're out in the roads, you simply say, angels, if you're really there, give me a sign. I want a particular car number to be displayed in front of me in the next half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. You give them a timeline. And 8 out of 10 times I've seen it happening, and people are like, zoop, what, how did that happen? And for people, two of those people, they're really skeptic people, because skepticism blocks your energy, because you already made a choice in your mind that it doesn't exist, and I'm just opening up because you are telling me to open up. But in my mind, in my energy, because I can look at the aura, of course, so I'm telling them, what, you're just saying for the sake of saying, you're not opening up actually. So that is not, that's why people who do not get results, people think they know, if I get results, then I will believe. That's the opposite. You have to believe first to get the results. That's how spirituality or laws of the universe work. You cannot ask, कि पहले मुझे गर्मी मिले तब मैं आग जलाऊंगा. That means, I want to feel the warmth first, then I will light the fire. You have to light the fire first, then you will get the warmth. That's how it works. With all, they're all laws of the universe. You have to follow the laws to get the results. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, the thought which was coming to my mind, you actually answered it. And I was just about to ask you, does fate play a role in it? And I guess you just said it. Nishant, we live in a world of dualism and opposites. So, do you think there is a possibility of mind and body dualism to ever abridge in a person's mind?
Yeah, I think with technology and the advancement that we are having in the field of metaphysics, because nowadays science and spirituality, like for example, I'm really passionate about integrating science and spirituality, and not just me, there's so many countless researchers, doctors who are now open to the concept that there's, physicality is one thing, but there's more to physicality, because we cannot just be a physical body. There has to be more. We have mind, we have emotions. They're not physical, but they're energies. They have consciousness. There's entire study. Now, yesterday only I was researching about I want to pursue a PhD in consciousness technology. That is basically way of how to connect science, spirituality, and the cutting edge latest technology in neuroscience, in mind frame technologies, in emotions and spirituality. And it's like bridging the entire thing, becoming one. It's like a unified theory rather than dualism ki ye alag hai, ye alag hai. Let's bring it together, because there's no, for the longest time I had this doubt in my mind that am I an aura reader, or because that's what I'm really passionate about doing, that I can do naturally, or am I a channel? Do I belong to my mother's lineage more or my father's lineage more? There was a thinking I spent. Everybody used to ask me, "What do you do?" I was like, "I'm an aura reader for the first 6 months." In the next part of the 6 months, I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm a channeling medium. So that's how I used to introduce myself, because there's always a dualism. But then I realized there's no duality. So one end of the spectrum is the energy that you can tangibly see, which is the aura, and the same energy goes to another spectrum, which is the experiential, which is channeling. So the same energy, एक pen है, you will not call this is the pen or that is the pen. This whole is pen. So we have divided the thing is कि ये back side है or this is the front side. But ultimately, if you ask any intelligent person to say this is the pen, yes, this is the pen. So duality is in our mind actually. Mind and body, no, it's just energetic body. Energy has condensed to form matter, and energy has been liberated from matter form to create energy. That's all. We're not physical body and spiritual body, we're energetic bodies. That's it. So there is no duality. It's again subjective thing.
And it's all completely a matter of faith, isn't it? At the end of the day,
It's a matter of faith, your belief, your trust, your intuition, your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom. A lot of stuff come into play. Because ultimately, it's all to do with your, what is helping you become a better person. If you feel duality is your way to go for that. If that makes you feel good or makes you feel positive, or as I say, be on the path. Now, your path could be knowing yourself, your path could be spiritual liberation, your path could be just pursuing your goal, whatever you're focused on right now. As long as these things are helping you progress and not creating obstruction in life, go for it. It doesn't matter if it is not making sense to anyone else. That doesn't matter. You should be happy in what you want to do, and it should not make sense to anyone else if it's making you happy. Because one of the principles that I live by is, do whatever you want to do, but do not harm anyone. Your thing should be your thing. If it's not harming anyone, that's fine. Nobody actually cares about it. Even God is like, whatever you want to do it, but don't harm anyone. Use the principles as per your thing. Stick to the rules and regulations, but come eventually. Because everybody would be enlightened eventually.
Yes.
That's what my belief is. Yes. Eventually. That's the key word.
Nishant, if there is a 500%, I don't know, I agree 500% with whatever you are saying, and it just makes me feel so good today. So, Nishant, coming to my last question, we won't let you go without giving a tip or two to my listeners, either about manifesting their best self or about how to see an aura, something, whatever comes to your mind and whatever you think, at this point of time, you should give a tip or two.
I'll give you a tip to protect your aura, because there's no point just seeing the aura, because most people talk about aura and they can just read about it. But a great technique would be to help you protect your energy. Yeah, simple processes. There's something called Kashyap Mudra. Kashyap Mudra is you put your hand like this, if you can see it. You put your thumb between the two. Doesn't matter. You can do it with both hands.
Okay.
Put your thumb between the ring finger and the middle finger.
Right?
Middle finger, yeah. And then you fold it.
Oh, you fold
it.
Okay. And it looks like this?
Exactly. So this is the Kashyap Mudra, or called the tortoise shell mudra. The moment you do this, your aura by default is protected. Your aura becomes like a tortoise shell. So that is why it's devised by Maharishi Kashyap in one of the Yoga Sutras. When you do this, if you are walking around, you can't do it with both the hands. You can just walk, put it with one hand. That is also partially protected. Rather than being open, it's partially protected. So that's a great technique. If you're in an argument, if you feel negative around a person, you don't want to punch them with this, but you can do it. What you can do is you can protect yourself like this. Just protect yourself. and that's it. They will not be able to drain your energy. You still feel the same even after they leave because you're not exchange any negative energy.
Wow, that's a great trip. And I feel like I can walk into a lion's cave now with this.
If in danger, punch.
Another punch, yeah. So, Nishant, with this, we come to the end of this conversation, and you may not believe it. Since the day you gave me your date, I have been really looking forward to this evening with you.
Wow.
And thank you
Thank
so much from the bottom of my heart, because it was almost like a masterclass for me. And you also, the way you mentioned that all these great humanitarians have a spirituality at their core. And I think almost connected to that, you are taking a masterclass, which is really helping people to come out of their stress, which finances are creating in their life. I think that's such a marvelous job. And thank you so much for helping me so many years back, and for me, honestly, Nishan, it has been a permanent help. And it has helped me so much that I even remember it today. And once in a while, if I really go through any kind of a trauma, I just go back to what you have told me, and I do whatever little things you have told me to do. They're a little personal, so I won't mention here.
Right.
But yeah. So, but the grounding technique and all those little things which you have told me have helped me so much throughout my life till now, and I'm sure they're going to help me in future as well. Thank you so much once again from the bottom of my heart for accepting this invitation. You have no idea how happy I am. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome.
Now you're doing a phenomenal job by bringing so many facilitators from around the world into this common platform with the Spiritual Citizen online magazine. It is definitely going to help a lot of people get so many insights about their life. So I'm Nishant, wishing you amazing good luck and all the best wishes to you for this journey. Bye-bye.